Hey everybody, I'm Matt with Halloween Daily News. Welcome to episode 20 of the Halloween Show. Today we're continuing our rollout of my new interview with Jude Courtney. We've got an exclusive clip we're going to world premiere in just a few minutes. But first, here are this week's other Halloween headlines. An official sequel to the stop-motion Halloween classic The Nightmare Before Christmas is coming next year in the form of a new young adult novel focusing on Sally's own adventure following the events of the iconic 1993 film, as she adapts to her new role as the Pumpkin Queen. Marking Disney Publishing's first visit to Halloween Town, the new novel, to be written by Shea Earnshaw, will explore what happened after Sally and Jack Skellington's climactic kiss at the top of Spiral Hill at the end of the movie. The story features a happily married Sally and Jack who see their lives momentarily turned upside down when Sally accidentally lets loose a mysterious villain in Halloween Town. With Jack and the entire holiday world itself in danger, Sally goes on her own quest to the other holiday worlds, including one previously unexplored as the Pumpkin Queen, uncovering secrets about how to save the world and wrestling with new discoveries about her past life along the way. If you're keeping track, you may remember that there's already an official sequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas in the form of a manga comic book that was released in 2018, centering on Zero's journey. The as-yet untitled Sally sequel novel will be released in July of 2022. Mezco has announced a new, officially licensed Halloween 2 Michael Myers 112 collected figure coming soon. This new figure, celebrating this year's 40th anniversary of Halloween 2, was revealed during Mezco's Toy Fair 2021, which happened virtually online over the weekend. The 112 collective line includes 1 to 12 scale figures with multiple points of articulation and various accessories, typically packaged in a display-friendly window box. No details on a release date have been announced quite yet, but you can see these first two photos of Mezco's new Halloween 2 Michael Myers 112 collective figure. Earlier this year, Mezco previously announced a Halloween 2 Michael Myers mega scale figure with sound included, which is expected to release later this year. And of course, you can always read more about all of those stories and much more right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Okay, this past week we premiered part 1 of my exclusive new interview with Jude Courtney. We talked about Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, celebrating Halloween itself, and lots more. Part 2 is coming this week, and right now, here's an exclusive clip. In this clip, I asked James how the real-life horrors of the last year might affect how audiences respond to horror movies moving forward. Check it out. Having survived or lived through and still living through the real-life horrors of a pandemic and even things like January 6th and just some of the real life horrors we've seen, but especially with the pandemic, I wanted to ask you if you think that will affect how audiences in general just view horror movies moving forward, and if so, how you think it might affect them. Because I've thought about it. Maybe will it be will audiences need horror more than ever? Will they need a different type of horror because certain types of horror hit home a little too close to home? And I've just been thinking about this on my own, and so I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Just in general, moving forward, do you think that having experienced the real life horrors of a pandemic will affect how audiences enjoy horror movies?
My perspective is that Americans especially, but Westerners in general, but Americans especially, are a very restless people. We are a very restless people. And so being forced into lockdown, being forced, to keep distance from our family and our friends and our social gatherings.
Yes.
My feeling is there is going to be an incredible zest for life, an incredible hunger to get out and to be a part of community again, to be entertained, for live music and for movies. And so, wherever our passion lies, I mean, for those of us who really enjoy live music, oh my God, it's killing me not to, especially I have such talented friends, and, not to be able to be with my friends who are performing. And, well, I had the sense that amongst the horror community and the movie going community at large, I think it's gonna be a tidal wave. I really feel that people are just going to, and frankly, I can only speak for Halloween Kills. It's such a good movie, So I think those two things combined are going to just drive people to the theaters and for that experience, because there's nothing like, especially with a film like a horror film, there's nothing like seeing it with 300 other people around you, or 500 people around you, or 100 people around you, because that it amplifies all that energy and all that feeling. And so I think it's going to positively affect horror in general, horror specifically, films in general. I mean, I think are going to be good films. So I think there'll be a net positive.
And you just spoke on it a minute ago about the communal aspect of enjoying horror in a theater with the community, and that kind of ties in, because I was going to ask you how you feel. Certain films now, Warner Brothers is releasing their films this year on streaming and theatrical at the same time, and there's a lot of talk of, are other studios going to do similar things and in the future? Do you have thoughts? I think you just answered some of it right there with but can you speak just a little bit on the possibility? I mean, because what if Halloween Kills is streaming while it's playing in the theaters that are open at the time? Do you have an opinion on that one way or the other?
Well, okay, first of all, I mean, yes, I have an opinion, but I'd first have to say that, Universal Studios has been doing this a long freaking time, right? Yeah. Blumhouse clearly, has their pulse on something really big, and they've been very smart about a whole lot. Ryan Freeman and Malek Akkad over at Trancas, and David and Danny and those guys at Rough House. I mean, when you put together those four entities, all of whom have just uniformly proven that they know what the F they're doing. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. And so, first of all, I would have to say, whatever they choose to do is probably going to be the right decision. I really trust those guys. And I'm really, that being said, for me, I would prefer that it wasn't streamed, that it was theaters first, then streamed, shortly after, because I think this is one of those films that really warrants being seen in the theater. So I think, personally for me, I would like to see it run a month or 3 weeks or something before they start streaming and selling DVDs and all that kind of stuff, because the theater experience for a film like this is really, really essential. It really is. And it'll also, I think, it'll build, because I can see, just like with 2018, you get it in the theaters and then people are streaming because they want to see it again and again, So, I mean, there are people who've gone to the theaters, people told me 9 times, 12 times, 3 or 4 times. And then they buy the DVD, or then they're streaming, and that's beautiful, man, because, they're supporting an industry. If people don't watch our movies, we don't get to make a living. If we don't make a living, we got to go do something else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there really is this beautiful relationship we have with the fans. It is like, we want to give them good product because we love doing what we do, but we don't get to do what we do unless we make money. Because no one's going to finance a film that doesn't make money. So there's this sort of quid pro quo that goes on with the fans and us. You know what I mean? Sure. And so I think it's really, it's kind of like, to me, it's like paying taxes. Like, some people are really angry about paying taxes. I feel fortunate to pay taxes. We need roads, we need infrastructure, we need our seniors to have Social Security and Medicare. We need, there's schools, there's so many things we need. And if I'm blessed enough to make a living and pay taxes to help support that, then I feel good about it. And I feel good about going to movies, knowing that I'm supporting people who are working really hard to bring content to, I feel the same thing about, about businesses, and especially mom and pop businesses. But So yeah, long answer, but I hope they release it and then stream it. But again, those four entities, Blumhouse, Roughhouse, Trancas, and Universal Studios, I think between those four entities, they'll nail it.
Part one of my interview with James Jude Courtney is online right now, right here on this channel and at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Part two will drop this Wednesday, March 3rd, again, right here on the HDN channel and at HalloweenDailyNews.com. And join me for Michael Myers Monday Live this Monday night, 10:31 p.m. Eastern Time. You may just get another little preview clip during that live broadcast. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.